So, dear students, so today our topic is biosynthesis of lipids. Okay. So, regarding the lipids, so lipids are the family of organic compounds that are mostly insoluble in water. Okay, they are the hydrophobic in nature. So, maximum lipids they are insoluble in water. Okay, so in our body or in the human body, so they are mainly three types of the lipids they are frequently found. So many lipids are there. So among most common lipids are triglyceride, sorry. So there are the main three type of lipids. So they are present in our body. So they are the triglyceride, that is 85% of lipids. So they are present in our body in the form of the triglycerides, and triglyceride, so they are play an important role in the transports of the certain kind of the lipids. Next one is the phospholipids. So they are 2%. So 2% of the among the lipids. So those are phospholipids. And phospholipids, so they are play an important role in the formations of the plasma membranes or formations of the membranes of the cell organelle. So that is the role of the phospholipids. Then regarding the sterols, that is the main component is a cholesterol. So there is a 13% of the lipid in our body, so that was present as a sterol and cholesterol. And cholesterol, it's play an important role in the biosynthesis of the steroidal hormones like estrogen, progesterone, as well as testosterone, and as well as glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids. So these all are the steroidal hormones naturally. So those are synthesized or secreted in our body. So with the help of the base or precursor, that is the cholesterol. And cholesterol is also required for the synthesis of the vitamin D. Okay, vitamin D, it can strengthen the bone, and as well as the vitamin D is helpful for the regulations of the immunity. Okay, vitamin D is also involved to boost the immunity. So that's why in the COVID-19, the most nutritionists or doctors, so they prefer to the patient that is vitamin D. Okay, because so vitamin D, it is also strengthen the bone, along with it can strengthen or boost the immunity. So that's why you people also, you can take the boost your immunity by getting the more vitamin D or synthesize more vitamin D in your body. Simply the vitamin D can synthesize, so when we are exposed to the early sunlight. Okay, so early sunlight in early morning, you should be exposed to the sunlight, so where we can got the UV rays, they when they are fall in your skin, so then that cholesterol, it was counted into a vitamin D naturally. And as well as so our dairy products like a milk, okay, so they are containing the vitamin D. So whatever the products, see they look like a white, so they are containing vitamin D, except your eating salt. So eating salt is also white in color, but that do not contain vitamin D. So that's why do not take excess of salt. So simply naturally you can boost your vitamin D synthesis and boost your immunity simply in early morning. Wake up, and in the sunlight you can walk, or you can run, or you can do the exercise or meditations. Okay, then naturally one side your body can got the more oxygen, and another side your body got the immune power through a vitamin D. So like that in our body, so there are mainly three types of the lipids are present. There is triglycerol, phospholipids, and as well as the sterols in the form of the cholesterols. Okay, so next one is the biosynthesis of triglyceride. So as you know, the triglyceride is the composition of glycerol and three fatty acids. So that was known as the triglyceride. It means the triglyceride is a source of fatty acids. So triglyceride, so another function is it is a store or it can continuously supply the fatty acids for our body for productions of the ATP. And as well as the triglyceride, it's play an important role in the transports of the cholesterol also. Okay, so regarding the biosynthesis of triglyceride, the triglyceride are mainly synthesized by following the five steps. In the step 1, that is the formations of glycerol 3 phosphate, and step 2, that is the conversions of 3 glycerol, that is the glycerol 3 phosphate into lysophosphadic acid. Then step 3, the conversions of lysophosphadic acid into phosphadic acid. Then the conversions of phosphadic acid into a diacyl glycerol. Finally, in the step 5, the conversions of diacyl glycerol into a triglycerol, or it is also known as the triglycerides. So like that, the five steps, so they are involved in the biosynthesis of the triglycerides. So now we can discuss the one by one. So regarding the first step, that is the formations of the glycerol 3 phosphate. So already you are familiar, through a glycolysis we can got the glycerol 3 phosphate. Okay, so that glycerol 3 phosphate, it is also essential for the biosynthesis of lipids like a triglyceride. It means the excess of carbohydrates, so that was also converted into a lipids, so in the form of the triglyceride. So like that, so in the other tissues, the source for the synthesis of glycerol 3 phosphate or the precursors for biosynthesis of triglyceride in other tissue is a glycerol. So this glycerol can convert into a glycerol 3 phosphate, and glycerol 3 phosphate is the basic molecule, so that was required for the biosynthesis of lipids or triglycerides. Okay, so in the adipose tissues, okay, so that was acetone, so that was converted into a glycerol 3 phosphate in the presence of the dihydroxyphosphatase enzyme. So that enzyme, so with the help of the NADH, so in the adipose tissues, so that can convert into glycerol 3 phosphate. But in other tissues, so glycerol is the basic molecule. So in the presence of ATP, the glycerol kinase, so this enzyme can convert glycerol into glycerol 3 phosphate. But in the liver, okay, so in the muscles, so where, so the glyceroneogenesis occurs, so that glycerol 3 phosphate can synthesize from the amino acids like a alanines, or the end products of the glycolysis like a lactate and the pyruvate. So these are the three basic molecule, so that was undergo the glyceroneogenesis, okay, to form a glycerol 3 phosphate. And glycerol neogenesis means, so without use of glycerol to form a glycerol 3 phosphate, so that process was known as the glyceroneogenesis. So like that, in the step 1, the glycerol 3 phosphate was formed in the adipocytes, are also formed in the from the livers and muscles and in other tissues. So with the help of the glycerol, due to presence of the phosphatase enzyme, kinase enzyme, so that can convert glycerol, alanine, lactate, pyruvate, or that is the acetone into a glycerol 3 phosphate. So this is the first steps involved in the formations of the triglyceride. So regarding the second step, that is the conversions of glycerol 3 phosphate into lysophosphadic acid. Okay, so after formations of the glycerol 3 phosphate, so in the presence of fatty acyl CoA, so it is the small chain, it is the fatty acid or acyl CoA, it was required for the elongations of the chain or formations of the triglycerides or formations of the fatty acids. Okay, so that is the additions of fatty acyl CoA, the CoA enzyme was separated or liberated from the fatty acyl CoA. Then fatty acyl, it can bind with the glycerol 3 phosphate in the presence of glycerol 3 phosphate acyl transferase enzyme. Then the glycerol 3 phosphate is converted into a lysophosphadic acid. So like that, the glycerol 3 phosphate can convert it into a lysophosphadic acid in the presence of acyl transferase enzyme by additions of the 1 fatty acyl CoA molecules. So in the step 3, that is the conversions of lysophosphadic acid into a phosphadic acid. So this is step is required for the additions of the second molecule of the fatty acids, because the triglyceride, it consists of the 3 fatty acids molecule along with the glycerols. So that's why in the second step, the third step, the second molecule of fatty acyl, that are fatty acid, so that was added here. Okay, so in the presence of acyl transferase enzyme, then fatty acyl CoA, the lysophosphadic acid can converted into a phosphadic acid, and here the coenzyme A is liberated from the fatty acyl CoA. Then that fatty acyl or fatty acid, it attached to the or react with the that the lysophosphadic acid. Then it was responsible for the formations of the phosphadic acid, or it can consist of the glycerol along with the two fatty acids, that is the phosphadic acid. So next one is the step 4, that is the conversion of phosphadic acid into diacyl glycerol. So that was converted by a phosphatase enzyme by additions of the water. It means here the hydrolysis can be taken plus. So due to hydrolysis, the phosphate group can be removed from the phosphadic acid. Then the phosphadic acid was converted into a diacyl glycerol by the enzyme, the presence of the enzyme phosphatase enzyme. And this diacylglycerol or the triglyceride is also formed in the intestinal enterocytes. So like adipose tissues, other tissues or liver, the triglyceride is also forms from the intestinal cells. So those are known as the intestinal cells. From here, the intestinal enterocytes, the monoacyl glyceride, it is the end products of the metabolism of or digestions of the lipids in the small intestine, whatever you can got from the food. So that was digested. So that was converted into monoacyl glyceride or polyacyl glycerides. Okay, so whatever you got taken the lipid in the form of cholesterol, in the form of triglyceride, many others they are there. We can take the animal fat. So that fat was digested in the stomach as well as in the small intestine. Then it was converted into a simple lipid. So that was known as the monoacyl glyceride. So that monoacyl glyceride is the precursor or essential material for synthesis of the triglyceride from a intestinal or intestine. So with the help of the intestinal enterocytes. So these intestinal enterocytes, so that were in the presence of, there is a monoacyl glycero or acyl transferase, that is a MOGOT. So that can convert monoacyl glyceride into a phosphadic acid by presence of the one molecule of fatty acyl CoA. Okay, that is also formed in the small intestines. Okay, so they are involved in the formations of phosphate. So like that, the small intestine is also participate or have the role in the biosynthesis of the lipids or triglycerides. So that was enter here, but remaining site, so they are involved in the synthesis of a triglyceride through a formations of the glycerol 3 phosphate. But in intestine, that was start from the monoacyl glyceride. So that's why it can give the phosphadic acid in the step 4. Okay, then after that, that phosphadic acid in the presence of phosphatase, additions of water, removal of phosphate group, it was converted into a diacyl glycerol. So like that, in the all angle, the finally that is the diacyl glycerol was formed for the biosynthesis of the lipids or the biosynthesis of the triglyceride. So next step, that is the fifth step, that is the conversion of diacylglycerol into triacylglycerol are also known as the triglyceride. Okay, here the diacylglycerol. So in the presence of acyl transferase enzyme and additions of one more fatty acyl CoA, that is the third molecule of the fatty acids in the form of the fatty acyl CoA. So that was releases the coenzyme A in the presence of acyl transferase enzyme. So then the diacylglycerol was converted into triacylglycerol or triglyceride. So like that, within 5 steps the triacylglycerol or the triglycerides was formed. So like that, the triglyceride, so that was synthesized in the our body. So with the help of the monoacylglyceride from the intestine, or with the help of the glycerol 3 phosphates from the liver or in the adipocytes, and as well as from the other tissues. And this diacylglycerol is the basic molecule that was required for the synthesis of triacylglycerol and as well as the biosynthesis of the phospholipids. So next one, so we can discuss regarding the biosynthesis of lipids, sorry, biosynthesis of the phospholipids. So phospholipids, it can consist of the phosphate group, glycerol as well as the tail. So head, it consists of phosphate group and glycerol, and the tail, it can consist of the fatty acids. Okay, a tail is a hydrophobic and head is a hydrophilic. Okay, the phospholipids, it consists of the both end, hydrophilic as well as the hydrophobic. So hydrophobic due to tail or presence of the fatty acids, but in the hydrophilic or that is the water loving, so due to presence of the phosphate group and glycerol. And these phospholipids, it was play an important role in the formations of the plasma membranes or membranes of the cell organs. So regarding the introductions of the phospholipids, the phospholipids are the complex or compound lipids. So they are containing the phosphoric acid and as well as fatty acid and nitrogenous base and alcohol. So this is the basic compositions of the phospholipid. So phospholipids, so they are mainly consist of the phosphoric acid, fatty acids and as well as the nitrogenous base and alcohol. So due to presence of alcohol as a glycerol, so these phospholipids, so they are mainly classified into two types, that is the glycerophospholipids and sphingospholipids. So glycerophospholipids, so they are containing glycerol as a alcohol, and sphingospholipids, they are containing a sphingosine as a alcohol. So the presence of the category of alcohol. So these phospholipids, they are mainly categorized into two types. That is the glycerophospholipids and sphingolipids. And glycerophospholipids, they contain glycerol as alcohol, and sphingospholipids, they contain sphingosine as a alcohol. So example for glycerophospholipids are phosphoric acid, lecithin, cephalin, phosphodilyl inositol, phosphodilyl serine, and plasmonogen. So these are the example for the glycolipids. And phosphoric acid, it was play an important role in the formations of triglyceride and lecithin. They are play an important role in the role in the muscles, can improve the muscle strength. Then cephalin is also play an important role in the brain. Then phosphodilyl inositol, so they are play an important role in the regulations of the calcium by involving the formations of the that is inositol triphosphate as well as the diacylglycerols. Then phosphatidylserine, so they play important role in the communications or cellular signaling in the form of the serine. And plasmalogens, so they are playing an important role in the blood coagulation and formations of the clotting factors. So they are involved in the blood coagulation. So regarding the sphingolipids, so examples for the sphingolipids are the ceramide. Okay, so regarding functions, so for these phospholipids, so they are basic components of membrane and regulate the membrane permeability. And phospholipids in the mitochondria, so they maintain the conformation of electron chain components, and as well as the it was involved in the cellular respirations. Then phospholipids also help the absorptions of the fats from the intestine, and also so they are essential for the synthesis of different types of lipoprotein. Thus they are participate in the transports of the lipids in our body. And phosphatidyl inositol, it is a source of second messenger involved in the communications. So regarding the intermediate for biosynthesis of phospholipids are phosphodic acid or 1,2 diacyl glycerols. So regarding the site for phospholipids, the phospholipids are mainly synthesized in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum as well as the inner mitochondrial membrane. So these are the sites for the biosynthesis of the phospholipids. So regarding the biosynthesis of phosphodic acid, so phosphodic acid is also one of the examples for the glycerophospholipids. So that was synthesized from the glycerol. So glycerol, so in the presence of the glycerol kinase and additions of ATP, it can convert into glycerol 3 phosphate. So later on, so glycerol 3 phosphate, so that was converted into lysophosphadic acid in the presence of the glycerophosphate acyl transferase and additions of the one molecule of fatty acyl CoA and the liberations of the coenzyme A. Then finally, in the presence of the transferase enzyme, so lysophosphadic acid was converted into phosphadic acid due to additions of the another molecule of fatty acyl CoA and liberations of the coenzyme A. So like that, the phosphodic acid was synthesized, and this is phosphodic acid is the one of the example of phospholipid, and phosphodic acid play important role in the biosynthesis of the triglyceride. So next one, so regarding the formation of lecithin, cephalin and phosphatidyl inositol. So lecithin, cephalin, so they play important role in the to enhance the strength of the muscles, or they are involved in the regulations of the muscular activities, especially in the brain. So they are continuously supply the ATPs. So in the brain, so they are strengthening the brain functions. And phosphatidyl inositol, so it was involved in the regulations of the calcium, and as well as it acts as the second messenger involved in the transmissions of the various kind of the message in the form of the IP3 or with the help of the diacyl glycerol. So now we learn regarding the formations of lecithin, cephalin and as well as the phosphatidyl inositol. So phosphodic acid is the basic molecule that was required for the biosynthesis of lecithin, cephalin and phosphatidyl inositol. So this enzyme, that is the phosphodic acid phosphatase enzyme, so that can convert phosphodic acid into 1,2-diacyl glycerol. So then 1,2-diacyl glycerol in the presence of CDP choline and in the presence of enzyme choline phosphotransferase, it can convert 1,2-diacyl glycerol into a phosphatidylcholine that was known as the lecithin. Okay, so like that, the lecithin was formed from the phosphodic acid in the presence of two enzymes. One is the phosphatase and another one is the transferase enzyme. So regarding the formations of cephalin, so cephalin is also formed from the 1,2-diacyl glycerol. So in the presence of the ethanol amine phosphotransferase enzyme and additions of the CDP ethanol amine, so that can convert transferase enzyme can convert 1,2-diacyl glycerol into a cephalin or phosphatidyl ethanol amine. So this is the another phospholipid, that is the cephalin, that is also found from the phosphodic acid in the presence of the phosphatase enzyme and as well as the transferase enzyme. Okay, so on the other side, so regarding the formations of phosphatidyl glycerol and phosphatidyl inositol, so those are also forms from the phosphodic acid. So that is the enzyme CTP phosphodic acidyl transferase enzyme can convert phosphoric acid into CDP diacylglycerol, where the CTP can convert into a PPI and it can release the phosphate groups. Then it can form the CDP diacylglycerol. So then the CDP diacylglycerol. So in the that in the additions of the there is the inositol, then as well as in the presence of transferase enzyme, that is the CDP diacyl glycerol inositol transferase enzyme, so that it can convert into a phosphatidyl inositol, that is also written as the PI, phosphatidyl inositol. Then further this phosphatidyl inositol then converted into IP3 and as well as the converted into a diacyl glycerol, and both molecule they are involved in the communications or signaling molecule through a release of calcium. Okay. So next one regarding the synthesis of phosphatidyl glycerol. This is also synthesized from the phosphoric acid, then converted into CDP diacylglycerol. Then so by additions of the glycerol 3 phosphate, then it can convert into a phosphatidyl glycerol in the presence of the transferase enzyme. So like that, so the various components of the phospholipids like a lecithin, cephalin, phosphatidyl inositol, phosphatidyl glycerol, so they are formed from the phosphoric acid. So next one, so we can discuss regarding the biosynthesis of cholesterol. So as you know, the cholesterol is the basic component that was required for the biosynthesis of the lipid hormones or fat soluble vitamins, and as well as it was required for the synthesis of vitamin D, and as well as required for the synthesis of the hormones like glucocorticoid, minocorticoid, estrogen, progesterone, and as well as the testosterone. Okay, so that is the cholesterol synthesis. So that was occur in the four stages. So 15% of cholesterol, so that was synthesized in the liver. So remaining, so that was undergo the extrahepatic synthesis. So cholesterol synthesis is mainly occurs in the four-step process, and here precursors is the acetate molecules. So for the first step, so that was involved in the cholesterol process is the formations of malonate from the acetate. Then second step, there is the productions of isopyranide units. It consists of the 5 carbon atoms. Then the third step, the synthesis of the squalene. It consists of 30 carbon atom. Then last one is the conversions of squalene into a cholesterol. It can consist of the 27 carbon atoms. So like that, the four stages are steps. So those are involved in the biosynthesis of the cholesterol. So next one, that is the cholesterol stage 1 synthesis. The precursors for the cholesterol synthesis is the acetyl CoA, and acetyl CoA is the end products of the, that is the beta oxidations or glycolysis that was converted into acetyl CoA. Okay, so the thiolase enzyme. Okay, so thiolase enzyme, it is an oxidant. So its enzyme can remove the electron. So this thiolase enzyme can convert acetyl CoA into acetoacetyl CoA and release the one molecule of coenzyme. So it can utilize the two molecule of acetyl CoA and involved in the formations of the acetyl CoA, that is acetoacetyl CoA. That is the role of the thiolase enzyme. Then next, in the stage 1 is to be the continue. So this acetoacetyl CoA can converted into a, that is the HMG CoA, that is beta hydroxy beta methyl butyryl CoA. So in the presence of the HMG CoA synthase enzyme. So this enzyme, it can convert acetoacetyl CoA into a HMG CoA or beta hydroxy, that is the beta methyl butyryl CoA. So by additions of another molecule of the acetyl CoA, then the coenzyme A is released. Next, the continuations of the stage 1, that is the beta hydroxy beta methyl butyryl CoA HMG CoA can converted into a malonate. So in the presence of the HMG CoA relatase enzyme. So this enzyme, so in the additions of the, in the presence of the NADPH and it can release the coenzyme A. Then it can convert HMG-CoA into a malonate. So this is the catalytic action of the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. It is also known as the rate limiting step. So where the HMG-CoA can convert into malonate in the presence of the NADPH or the reduction reaction. So that reduction reaction was catalyzed by a HMG-CoA rate. So like that, so the malonate it was formed in the stage 1. So stage 2, so that malonate there is the 5 carbon at units. So that was counted into there is 5-phosphomalonate. So in the presence of the malonate, 5-phosphotransferase enzyme and additions of the ATP. So the malonate was converted into a 5-phosphomalonate. And further 5-phosphomalonate that was converted into 5-pyrophosphomalonate in the presence of the kinase enzyme. Then 5-pyrophosphate malonate. So then additions of ATP in the presence of decarboxylase enzyme, so that was counted into that is the 3-phospho 5-pyrophosphomalonate. Then further in the presence of that is the same enzyme decarboxylase, so that can convert that is the dimethyl that is the dimethyl allyl pyrophosphate. Next one is the stage 3, that is the formations of the squalene. So squalene is mainly found from the isopentenyl pyrophosphate. So then it can convert into a 20 carbon intermediate like a geranyl pyrophosphate. Then geranyl pyrophosphate 10 carbon atom intermediate can convert into 15 carbon intermediate, that is the farnesyl pyrophosphate. Then further the farnesyl pyrophosphate can convert into 30 molecule carbon intermediate like a squalene. So two molecule of farnesyl pyrophosphate they join together in the presence of the NADPH. So then it can form the squalene. So the enzyme that is the transferase enzyme. So that was play an important role in the biosynthesis of the squalenes. So next one is the stage 4 cholesterol synthesis. So the stage 4 or step 4 it is involved in the conversions of linear squalene molecule into a 4-ringed steroid nucleus. So squalene it consists of the 30 molecule. So where the structure can be rewrite, it's many times it can undergo the oxidation, cyclization as well as loss of 3 methyl groups, result the conversions of squalene into a cholesterol. So then the epoxidase hydroxylase cyclase enzyme. So in the presence of NADPS, so they convert squalene into lanosterol, and further the lanosterol it can undergo the structural changes or series of reaction. Then it can code into finally 27 carbon atom containing cholesterol. So like that, the cholesterol is formed from the squalene, and this cholesterol it is required for the biosynthesis of the fat soluble vitamin, and as well as it is required for the synthesis of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, as well as glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. So like that, the cholesterol or lipid can be synthesized in our body.